Well, on the topic of California, State Farm, California's largest home insurance provider, is requesting an emergency 22% rate increase. You heard me right. Craig's face just dropped. 22% rate increase in response to the devastating Los Angeles County fires.
They're citing massive financial losses and escalating wildfire risks, and the company warns that without the increase, it may face serious financial instability. Yesterday on Fox Weather Now, Ian Oliver and Fox Business contributor Scott Martin dove deeper into this, looking at the market meteorology involved.
Scary state of affairs, lack of preparation, Ian. And the sad part about this, it comes from so many facets. It comes from the state, really the regulations on the insurance companies, which have capped rates, by the way, so they couldn't have increased them if they wanted to. The fact that some of the state and the counties did not assess the properties correctly as far as value. So guess what? The insurance companies didn't insure the right amounts because they didn't have the right amounts of the homes that they were actually worth. So that coverage was not there. And two, the folks that were out there probably were not pushing those buttons enough to say, hey, we need to get some additional insurance. And certainly the state insurers, or rather the private insurers with regards to the state, they're for-profit businesses, Ian. Right. So they're going to go out there and try to raise rates and try to get as least amount of coverage or most amount of coverage for the most amount of cost or least amount of coverage for most amount of cost, however you want to say it, because the fact that they want to make a profit too. Right. And you have a major disaster like this, which nobody's prepared for.
Right, and they've been not in a profitable state, to put it.
Not quite.
It's been several years now. This was truly a nightmare. I mean, we've talked here on Fox Weather, the loss of life, the loss of properties, homes, businesses, tens of thousands of those. And now it left a lot of people down in Southern California with some hard questions about their future. And then they hear something like this. They're asking for a 22% rate increase. You had said it with some of the assessments, some of these generational properties. A lot of people aren't necessarily in a place to start the same life that they had before this. Is this going to factor in moving forward?
Just a bit. And some of these folks, Ian, that was their biggest asset. Yes. That was their retirement, was the home. And now a lot of it's our biggest asset, our homes. And now that's washed away. And the insurance company will give you a few $100,000 to rebuild the house that you thought was worth $1.5 million. Not quite going to happen. So things do matriculate elsewhere. I mean, we've seen this in having a place in Florida myself. I know you're from the Tampa area. Businesses will move on. People move on and they will go somewhere else. North Carolina's happening the same thing. So economic, let's say, activity does not get destroyed. It gets created somewhere else, but then that puts additional pressure on, say, the tax base in the area that's trying to recover, for example.
So what does this tell us about the overall industry then? Because you just brought it up, and it's a great point. We had you with us here on Fox Weather. We were having, it was kind of same song, different verse to what played out down in Florida with Helene and with Milton. Are people going to be priced out of some of these areas solely related to insurance? Will they be able to get insurance?
The insurance is going to be questionable because what insurer would insure them? And it sounds like a song, same song, Digital Underground, one of my favorite songs from Nothing But Trouble, that movie, if you remember. Get some famed people change. It's like the same thing about the insurance companies. Who wants to go in there, Ian, and take on this risk and this inability, let's say, as per the state told them, to increase rates to the amount that it should have been to cover this stuff, and the fact, too, that the state has not committed to making more changes going forward to prevent these fires next time.
Right. And you had mentioned, related to Florida, things like the flood insurance program.
Wind insurance. Saltwater versus freshwater.
Right, and all of these nitty-gritty details all matter when you're going through that.
It all costs money, too.
Yes, I mean, you've lived through that.